I was so pleasantly surprised. Thank you.
Yeah. You know how the Westerners are, they're a little bit right-sided. And so I thought Vaibhav actually uh, indicated something. And
Ah,
then I forgot what to do with that video. So I thought, oh, I just send it directly to Sanjay. That's the best thing to do, right?
that's so sweet of you. I've always remembered you as laughing, smiling, shaking your head when we were having all the music with mother right in front of both of us, sitting in front of her,
Yes,
playing.
amazing.
And those are some amazing memories, the
They
pujas,
are. Yes,
programs.
they are.
You're always
How
there.
lucky. Hmm?
You were always there, I remember. I never missed
Well,
you.
yeah. It it is. They are precious memories. That's very true.
Absolutely.
Oh, this being recorded, so I have to be careful what I'm saying.
Let's be just spontaneous because it's all about the heart, isn't it?
Yes, yes. You
And
look so relaxed, and I think you're doing well, right? And you're successful.
yes, yes.
From I have to say, today was the last day of work before I take a short vacation.
Mhm.
And it's usually like this when the last day comes, everybody remembers we need to do this and we need to do that, and can you please help me? And so it was a bit hectic in the last week or so. So I have not even seen your movie yet. I apologize for that, but it will come. This
Yeah,
from today on, I'm on vacation, so I can do what I want.
I'll do my best to show you the movie in some format or the other. We'll look for some
Oh,
opportunity to get the movie across to your whole collective in the US.
yes, I'm aware of that. Yes.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. So, should we just begin? Means it is informal and yet uh, we can be on our guard if you like, or just be off guard.
Better off guard. So,
Yeah.
Vaibhav did not indicate what we are doing now, other than sharing memories from a long time ago. So, I'm all yours. Whatever you want to do.
Okay. Well, I'm here also on behalf of our entire World Collective, uh,
Oh, wow.
introducing them to our great brother Herbert Reininger. I hope I'm getting your name right.
Yeah, actually, very right. Yes,
Oh,
you
thank
you
you.
must have some German ancestors somewhere. Yes,
Okay, and you're originally from Vienna or Germany? I wasn't
from
sure of that.
Austria. Austria.
Austria,
Yes, Vienna.
Austrians,
Yes.
Vienna.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. So I'd like you to first introduce yourself and
Oh.
your how you came to Saj Yoga, how you met Sri
Mm-hmm.
Mataji,
Mm-hmm.
what attracted you in these years, and etc. etc. Whatever you wish to speak extempo, and then maybe you can have
Okay.
some few sharings after that.
Nice. Well, right. So my name is Herbert Reininger, as Sanjay just said, and I am originally from Austria in Vienna. And I have to say, in hindsight, I did not know that I was a seeker back then. I was not aware, but I had all the symptoms. You know, you're not happy, and you look around, nothing is satisfying. Whatever the people are doing, you're thinking there must be something else. And so I was in a state of desperation, really. And so on the 28th of September in 1982, I am in Vienna working home from work, and somehow something in my head is saying, ahead there, a little bit ahead on the floor, there's a newspaper, and you have to pick that up. And I'm thinking, what was that? And how, what's going on here? And why should I pick up a newspaper? I already read it in the morning. So, okay, so I kept walking, and there are lots of people on the sidewalk, and literally there is a newspaper. And I bent down, pick it up, and open it. And the first thing I saw was a photo of an Indian lady. And suddenly everything changed. And I could not stop looking at her photo. It felt like crusts and layers of difficulties around my heart get melted away, and it felt like I'm completely like a newborn baby, light and easy and joyful. And I'm standing still there with the newspaper, just looking at this photo. The people are walking by. And after a while, I noticed there's some text next to it. So it was actually an article. Sri Mataji had come to Vienna for the first time, to Austria, and there were yogis from other countries helping. Our brother Gregoire was there, and many others. And they had put an article in the newspaper, and Sri Mataji had 4 public programs. 3 of them I had already missed with my confusion, maybe. So it seems like this 4th one, Sri Mataji really wanted me to attend, and that's why this newspaper came into the play. And so I read the text, and I didn't really understand much. You know, in the West, we don't know about Kundalini and self-realization chakras. I've never heard about. But I then realized that there was a free public program with this lady, and it starts in an hour and a half. So I rushed home, took a shower, and rushed back to the place where the program was supposed to be, because I really wanted to see this lady again and wanted to see if I can feel this again when she's there in person. And I was early because, you know, when it's free, lots of people come. So I wanted to really have a good seat. So actually, I was very early. I sat like in the 2nd row or so, right in the center. And I watched the yogis coming and decorating, bringing the chair of Sri Mataji and flowers and saris and everything. And I was just waiting. And then an introduction started uh, by the brother of Gregoire, Arnaud, and he spoke German in a very strong French accent. It was very difficult for us to understand. So I almost left because I thought, I don't know, this, I don't understand anything, and what am I doing? But somehow my heart kept me there. My heart was really desiring to meet her and to see if I can have this amazing feeling again that I just had out there in the street. So after a while, the introduction was finished, and then Sri Mataji comes slowly walking in her white sari and takes a seat very close in front of me, literally. And I don't really have appropriate words to describe how I felt. I didn't understand what was happening, right? Because we don't have a background to put this into context. But I felt like uh, I'm bigger than in my body, and I felt like we are all here like almost parts of one body, and it was very joyful. And then Sri Mataji gave a lecture, and uh, again, I did not understand much what she was saying intellectually, you know, from my mental understanding, because it was a bit foreign to me. But what I felt was there was a giant flow of energy above me, you know, just going over me, and I'm not tall enough. I'm sort of with my attention trying to reach up there and sort of get into that flow, but it didn't work. So then was the meditation at the end of the program. And at the end, we have our hand above our head, and I'm feeling cool on top of my head, and I just couldn't understand what's happening, what's going on here. But I felt so happy that I just stayed. Lots of people left after that and this and that. I just stayed. And Sri Mataji stayed also. In those days, she stayed for a long time. You remember that also, right?
Yes.
And she said if anybody wants to come and meet her. Uh, so I was already pretty much in front and uh, went up on the stage. And Shrimataji extended her arms to me. I took her hands and she smiled at me and she said, "It is so nice that you came." And with that, I was done. I knew my journey has ended. I'm home now, literally. And yeah, the rest is history, right?
Yeah, I mean, this reminds me of my own time when I was first
Sure.
came in touch with Shrimataji. Of course, in the beginning, it was more of a relationship, you know, in the family.
Hmm.
But when I was in London, I'm just having a very similar experience as yours. I had gone
Yeah.
to a public program there in 1984, 4th of July, and Shimaji made me sit right in front. She had invited me over, you know.
Hmm.
So I was just in London for 2 days, and I just sat there, and I was just so overwhelmed by the whole sight of Shrimataji in front. And
Yeah.
whatever she was talking, nothing was registering in my mind. I was just totally awestruck. Sometimes your
Hmm.
mind is so much clogged with so many things you don't understand. But
Yes.
even without understanding, like how you felt, the
Hmm.
feeling was too good. It was a
Yeah.
feeling almost her love is
Yes.
just all around you.
Yes.
And I can understand how you felt at that time, because you can't actually use your brain to get there. Your heart
No.
just simply connects
Yes.
if you're a seeker, if you've been seeking.
And you know, Sanjay, it's beautiful what you're saying because uh, it really has nothing to do with the brain at all, other than it's gone silent, right? Because after I had this encounter with Sri Mataji and she held my hands and we talked a little bit. I don't remember what she said beyond that, but I did not leave. So I was just sitting there. And little by little, everybody left. Sri Mataji had left, and the yogis had taken all the decorations away. And I was still sitting there, not really aware that I was still sitting there. I was just sitting there. And then I heard a voice from the back. Somebody said in a gentle, low voice, it may be time now because we have to leave and we have to give the hall back. I turned around and I was alone. There was nobody there, only one yogi who was here to help was standing in the door calling me. And so I went, and as I'm passing him, he smiled at me and he had some of the flowers that were decoration on the stage during the program. He had some of them in his arm. So as I'm passing by, he gave me a rose and he said, Sri Mataji wants you to have this rose. And again, you know, my heart just melted. I, it was definitely not mental. It was all emotional, right? So the story of the rose has a very interesting twist because, like months later, we had an ashram, our first ashram in Vienna, and we learned what all this means. And one of the things was we had to keep it very clean. And I kept that rose with me. By then, it was dried out, so it was just in a glass, but it was still there, reminding me of this experience. And one day I come home from work and uh, I I go to the room where we are staying, and the rose was gone. So I thought, okay, did I do something? I don't remember. Then I asked when we sat for dinner. Oh no, we were cleaning the room. You know, you boys are always so messy. So we cleaned the room, and there were some old flowers there. They are all gone now. So that's how the rose somehow found its way back to the Mother Earth.
Wow. Tell me, Herbert,
Yeah.
were you a musician at that time you met Sri Mataji?
Yes.
Oh,
I was a musician since a long time before. I
mhm.
had my own band, and we played slightly different music than we do in Sahaj. And then I was also playing in a South American band from Peru and Bolivia, because somehow this whole culture there was also calling me for the more esoteric reasons. And one day, so these are street musicians in Vienna, and they're playing on the street, and people give them money, and that's how they survive. And every day when I went to and from work, they were there and playing these South American typical songs. And so I stand there and I give them money, and I bring other people and this and that. And so one day, after we had sort of made a more closer connection, one day one of the main musicians there said, do you play an instrument? I said, yeah, I play the guitar. He said, do you want to play with us? Because our rhythm guitar player has just disappeared, and we need one. So I said, sure, do you have a guitar here? Yeah, yeah, we have a guitar here. So they put a poncho around me and South American hat, and suddenly I was part of a South American band. And we were
Wow.
singing Guantanamera and all these other songs that they do on the street.
When was that?
So yes, that was before I met Srimataji. And then there was a hiatus in music because Grégoire was with us for the first 3 years. He was a very strict guru for us. And so uh, maybe we were too left-sided. I don't know why he did, but he banned all music. So I tried to bring my guitar in the beginning, um, but he said, no, no, we're not going to do this. And so for a year and a half, there was no music in Sahaja Yoga in Austria. and, uh, and eventually, slowly it came back, you know. And I guess that's where you come in, right? Because
Yeah, I mean,
your songs slowly started to circulate even among the Westerners. And we were on India tours where we met, right? I remember I'm not 100% sure. I was thinking today, when did I meet Sanjay first? I want to say it may have been in Ganapati Pule when you were singing Rabani Ban, and
yeah, it was
you,
I think it was 1987 or 88.
yeah. So
Uh,
well, then I probably have met you before that, but I can't fully recall exactly when.
I will tell you. Were you at the Guru Puja in Andorra,
Yes.
1980?
So that's what it was.
Ah,
Wow.
that
Yeah,
was my
yeah.
first trip to overseas when Shri
Mhm.
Mataji
Wow.
introduced me to the foreign brothers and sisters. My first trip
Hmm.
overseas with music. So
Hmm.
with me, it started in 1986. She started, and and there's something interesting. She told me there is so much of right-sidedness in the Western world that I have to
Yes.
bring music which will raise the bar of the left side so that
Hmm.
the balance can come. You know.
Hmm.
So I remember when she was creating this music with me, 86, she was participating in the writing, in the
Wow.
composition. It was all coming
Yeah.
from her. I was not a musician. I was born as a musician in Sahaj Yoga only, with her help, with her hand
Really?
holding. Yes, she was
So
holding my.
all your talent in singing and expressing uh, these beautiful sentiments that you do, all this came after you
Yeah.
came to Sahaja Yoga?
After
Wow.
it flourished. I was fond of singing. I won't say that I wasn't singing. As a
Mm-hmm.
child, I was very much oriented to singing, but it was
Yeah.
those usual film songs and the usual singing
Mm-hmm.
work that we do. It was very. I was very average. I could not even sing in good tune. My voice was very hoarse. But
Right.
but when mother came and she wanted this dream of music coming into Sahaj Yoga in
Mm.
1986, she almost did a hand holding. And literally, I saw the poetry, the music, everything growing.
Wow. Wow.
And I think that is the time when you must have also joined, because I think that was the time she was bringing all the music into Sahaj Yoga. From
Yes.
1986, movement started.
Yes.
And it till 1991, 5 years, those were the fantastic, those formative years
Oh, yeah.
when
The
we were meeting
golden years.
every year we were overseas and we were together in all the pujas. The
Yes.
Nirmal Sangeet Sarita with
Oh, my
Baba Mama, the
goodness.
Guruji, and
Yes.
the works.
Everywhere. But this Andorra, uh, I'm very glad you bring this back to me because um, we were sitting on stage one day. You were there, Nima Sangeet Sarita, and the music is coming to a crescendo. The rhythm is going faster and faster, and there was a jugalbandi going on between a sarod and the sitar. And the sarod player, I forgot his name. He was in Nirmal
Shankar,
Sangeet Sarita for a
Shankar
while, right?
Bhattacharya. Shankar Bhattacharya.
Yes. Yeah. So he was just taking over from the sitar and they're going really fast. And suddenly his main string breaks. Big bang, and the string breaks. Most of the people didn't notice, but I know you did notice because you looked. And then uh, I don't know what happened. It was a miracle because I've never seen somebody change a string so fast. It's like automatically boom, 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 boom. The string was back and he was playing. It was truly amazing. So, yeah, these are precious memories, right?
And coming to the music part, I will touch upon this very beautiful song which was made with you and Paddy in London. And I think that
Mm.
was, if I'm not mistaken, that was 1989 Shuddhi Camps,
It may have been earlier,
Sri Krishna
but it
Puja.
was somewhere in
Yeah,
the 80s, yes.
yeah. I have a very good memory of that because we were traveling in the van together. It was midnight,
Yes, yes,
and I had the paper and the pen and the diary with me. You were up,
yes,
and so was Paddy, and the rest of the party was sleeping. You
yes.
remember?
And we were very late, right?
And do you
We
know
were
I have
very late.
pictures? I have photos of that.
You have photos. Oh,
Yes,
wow.
I'm going to
That's
share with
amazing.
you in our next session.
Oh, please.
but
Yeah,
but yes,
yes.
yes, and this song was a historic song, which was born out of contributions coming from you and Paddy and the three of us. And then I
Yeah.
remember when I wanted this song to be played, we went back to Shuddhi camps. We sat, and there were about 5, 6, or 7 more guitarists sitting there, and we were
Yeah.
practicing it. And you were the one who was giving me the rhythm
Yeah. Oh, I
in your
don't remember
guitar.
that. Yeah.
Yes, there were 5, 6 people in the guitar. And then we
Hmm.
decided that we are going to play this for Shri Mataji. There was this Krishna Puja about to happen.
Yeah.
And before Krishna Puja, there was a musical evening.
Hmm.
And we played this song for Shri Mataji.
Wow.
And that was the first time she heard it.
My goodness. I do not remember that at all. It's completely like new to me what you're just telling me.
Sitting in,
It's
my wife
incredible.
is asking which song. I said, Sitting in the Heart of the Universe.
Yes.
Would you like to hear the latest version of it? Have you heard it?
Oh, there's a new version.
There is
Absolutely. Yes, please.
absolutely. I mean, is Weber? Do you have the? Have you been able to down? what do you say?
Download?
Download the song that I sent you this morning?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I
No,
apologize. As I
no,
said,
I
it
know.
was a
No, no,
bit.
no. I sent it to Weber. I don't know if Weber is still there. Weber, are you listening?
Yes, Uncle. You haven't sent me a link. You have sent me a text.
No, no, no. I've sent you a Google Drive. I'm sure I've sent you. Can I play it here?
You can play it there, Uncle. Yep.
You'll have to give me what screen sharing? Do I have to do something?
I've already
Yeah.
given you the rights.
Advanced. Am I going
So,
to share?
no, at the bottom of the screen, if you roll over, there's a green button that says
Yeah,
screen
music.
share, right?
Yeah, music. Now it's on,
Mhm.
and just give me a
Wow, what a
second.
treat.
I'm not so good at this, but still.
Oh, no, you're
Okay,
definitely better than I am.
it will take about 7 to 8 minutes for just enjoy it. Then we'll come back.
Yeah,
Can you hear it?
yes.
It is not too loud. Is it okay?
No, it's fine.
Sitting in the heart of the universe, we know your love is flowing through us.
Sitting in the heart of the universe, we know your love is flowing through
That's
us.
Hannah Marsh.
Wow.
Shri Mata Ji, we love you. Shri Mata Ji, we love you. Shri Mata Ji, we love you. Shri Mata Ji, we love you.
Sitting in the heart of the universe, we know your love is flowing through us.
Sitting in the heart of the universe, we know your love is flowing through us.
Feel you're particularly dancing.
You are Mahakali Mahalakshmi. You are Mother Adi Shakti.
You are Mahakali Mahalakshmi. You are Mother Adi Shakti.
Your power within us when we feel it. Our hearts rejoice in bhakti.
The power within us when we feel it. Our hearts rejoicing in bhakti.
When we surrender, we are in paradise. When we surrender, we are in paradise. Sitting in the heart of the
Universe, we know your love is flowing through us.
sitting in the heart of the universe, we know your love
is flowing through
Want to continue listening?
us.
Shri Mata Ji, we love
know your love is flowing through us.
You are the supreme creator. You play the game of creation.
You are the supreme creator. You play the game of creation.
You have given us Sri Ganesha for us to have realization.
You have given us Sri Ganesha for us to have realization. When we surrender, we are in paradise. When we surrender, we are in paradise. Sitting in the heart of the universe, we know your love is flowing through us. Sitting in the heart of the universe, we know your love is flowing through us.
Shri Mataji, we love you. Shri Mataji, we love you. Shri Mataji, we love you. Shri Mataji, we love you.
Sitting in the heart of the universe, we know your love is flowing through us. Sitting in the heart of the universe, we know your love is flowing through us.
Gods, goddesses of Vaikuntha, bless us when we get together.
Gods, goddesses of Vaikuntha, bless us when we get together.
On the shores of Ganapati Pule, our hearts are united through Mother.
On the shores of Ganapati Pule, our hearts are united through Mother.
When we surrender, we are in paradise. When we surrender, we are in paradise. Sitting in the heart of
The universe,
we know your
love is flowing through us.
sitting in the heart
Of the universe,
we know your
love is flowing through us.
Shri Mataji, we love you. Shri Mataji, we love you. Shri Mataji, we love you. Shri Mataji, we love you.
Sitting in the heart of the universe, we know your love is flowing through us.
Sitting in the heart of the universe, we know your love is flowing through us. Sitting in the heart of the universe, we know your love is flowing through us. We know your love is flowing through us. We know your love is flowing through us.
Wow, 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 wow. What what a treat. My goodness, thank you so much. That is really very unexpected.
I
So
wanted to
when
gift
did
this
you
song.
create this version?
This was the same year Shri Mataji took Samadhi.
Ah,
I was very much emotionally moved, and I just
yes,
I
of
I was so
course.
charged. That year I did an album called Samadhan. I think I did Ruhani Roshni 2. You remember the first one, Ruhani
Yes,
Roshni, the
yes,
first one.
yes,
Shri Mataji herself, so much interest she took in that recording. So
yeah.
this was like a tribute I wanted to pay to her.
Hmm. So I
Yes.
recognize the male voice, but who's the female singer?
I was telling you that is Hannah Marsh from Norway, from Finland. She's
Yeah.
a professional recordist for Virgin Records. She's a
Hmm.
Sarjogini also.
Hmm.
And earlier she was married to Mertzi Lanki, you remember, from that
Not sure from where.
Finnish Sarjogi, So I
Uh,
was close to him, and I had gone visiting him in Helsinki. And this
yeah.
song, she recorded her voice in her own home studio, and we
Oh,
made the
that's how it
music
happened, and then it got mixed together.
mixed in India. Yeah, I
It's
sang in India.
beautiful, but
Yeah.
it's such a beautiful fit between the two voices. You know, the
Wow.
way you play each other off with harmony, especially at the end, it's very beautiful. Wow.
I wish Paddy is. Do you know where Paddy is these days? Is he around?
No, no. I have very little, I live in the United States, so uh, the English yogis, I do have connection with some, but many others not. So Paddy, unfortunately, I don't know anything about him.
He was driving us around all through
Yes,
in the
yeah,
in the
yeah,
UK.
I know.
And I don't know, there was was it James or John, somebody who actually Sri Mataji praised a lot, who went to Russia to spread Sahaj Yoga, and she said, now the English are going to Russians to
Hmm.
give them realization. I remember the
Yeah.
Germans are going, in fact. She had mentioned that, you know, that
Yeah, yeah,
how
yeah,
Sahaj Yoga is
yeah.
changed the mindset of people, it's such a transformation.
But also it was teaching us lessons, as you just mentioned that, because
Yeah.
the Austrians were often called by Srimadaji as Germans, which the Austrians don't like very much. But it was just teaching us there is really no difference, right? If you look from outside onto the Mother Earth, there are no borders, there are no passports, it's just one beautiful body that holds us all together. So yeah,
Herbert, I I have a memory of you, and I
yeah.
can never
Oh,
forget that look in your eyes. Whenever you used to meet me, that
yeah.
smile, it was a very contagious smile. And the look, in fact, was that of love. I mean, when I looked at you, I said, here is a man who has so much love reflecting in his face. And you do the same. I mean, when I was watching you with the song, I was just feeling all the flow of our brotherhood, our love together, the bond that we share.
But I feel it too. I too feel it right now, but in general, because it's so precious, isn't it?
Yes.
We are many such yogis, but compared to the rest of human beings, we are not so many, right? And
Yeah.
then when we come together, it's just an explosion of joy and mirth and happiness, little bit pulling of legs and everything. But in general, we have a good time, right? Yeah.
So tell me about your life journey after you came to Sahaj, and with regard to your work, and did anything really transform in your life after you got your self-realization?
Oh, yeah, very much so. So as you may know, I am a designer by education and by tradition. And I started, after studying in Vienna, started working in advertising agencies. First in Vienna, then when enough Sahaja yogis were in Vienna, then I moved to another city in Austria. So I worked there, and then Sri Mataji came to visit once in the south of Vienna, in the south of Austria. And okay, there are two stories, if we have time.
Yeah, sure.
One is she told me I should go to Frankfurt because there are no such yogis yet. And she would like to come for a program, but she needed Sahaja yogis to be there in advance. So then I just quit and packed everything, and we moved to Frankfurt. But the amazing thing, as you know, with Sri Mataji, if you do things immediately when she asks you something, it just works out. So after Sri Mataji had left that very day, that was before internet, before cell phones and all these smart things that we have today, I went to a shop that had international newspapers and bought a newspaper from Frankfurt, the big one, you know, the Sunday big one. And in there, I found an apartment to stay and a job that very day.
Cool.
So next day I called the job and told them what I do and this and that. So there wasn't even an interview. They hired me right there on the phone.
Wow.
So next weekend was a puja with Sri Mataji in Capella, as it often was. So we all go to Capella, of course. And I told her that. She was just smiling. She was just smiling, and I guess she was pleased. So that's how I came to Frankfurt. But before I came to Frankfurt, in the city that I just talked about in Austria, when she asked me to go to Germany, she left, and it is a rather small city, maybe 200,000-300,000 people, and there's a small airport. And so I'm driving Sri Mataji to the airport. And just to be sure, like proper right-sided people do, I had practiced this trip from our ashram to the airport before Sri Mataji came. And then everything was a little bit chaotic, and we were late, and Sri Mataji hadn't eaten yet, and she was just taking her bath, and we were supposed to already go to the airport. You know how it is. So we are finally in the car, and Sri Mataji took her place in front next to me, which was very unusual. We had prepared in the back, as we usually do, so the ladies quickly rearranged the car. So she's sitting next to me, and behind her is a lady who has the food that Sri Mataji had no time to eat. So she was serving her forward reaching onto her plate, and Sri Mataji was eating right there sitting next to me. And all the while, she is involving me in a very esoteric and deep philosophical conversation that was really at the borderline of my brain capacity. So I was fully focused to not lose the thread of the story that Sri Mataji is talking about. And she asked me for my opinion about this and that. And at some point, I look outside the car, and I had no idea where I was. I totally had no idea where I was. So I got a bit of a shock, and we're late, and Sri Mataji's eating, and she's talking to me, pretending that she doesn't know what's going on. And so I'm driving, trying to find my way somehow, but I knew I was lost. And very casually, in between other words, she said, "Turn left here." I picked it up and turned left, and then turn right, and turn left, and turn right, and go straight everywhere at the airport, just like that. So it's just one of these moments when Mataji reveals that not only does she know everything, but she loves us so much, isn't it? I had
Wow.
tears in my eyes. Honestly, if I could have, I would have fallen at her feet right there in front of everybody at the airport, because she's the ocean of love. There's nothing else I can say. So yeah, so then we ended up in Frankfurt, and many pujas were organized there, Hanuman Puja, Kundalini Puja, others. And then I moved to Italy.
I'll
In
just
the
say one
mean,
thing in between. I was there
which
in the
one?
Kundalini Puja.
Ah, yes,
And I
of
sang the
course you were there.
first time I sang Jago Kundalini Ma in a puja. Shri
Wow.
Mataji asked me to sing that song for the puja
Yes. Yeah, we're
because it
still
had just
singing
been
it.
composed, just recently.
Yeah.
Please carry on. Please carry on.
No,
Yeah.
no, I mean it's you're definitely part of the story, isn't it? It's amazing. I remember in Frankfurt at this event that you're just talking about, it got a bit loud, and I was the main organizer, and I saw somewhere 2 in the morning or so, police showed up. You may not have noticed, right? So we tried to push them back out, and they came because the city where this puja was, it's a smaller city in Germany. They had complained because we were really loud. We were singing on top of our voice and dancing, and the drums and the instruments and everything. And police was there, and they were very strict, and they said, we're going to shut this down, we turn off the electricity and this and that. So I started pleading with them, and I said, look, see, there's my mother. She came to visit us all, and we're just happy, and if you want, you can join us, but please don't turn it off. This is such a special moment for us. And they didn't quite know what to say at that, because they didn't expect somebody to just plead from the heart, right? And turned around and left. That was the end of that. Yeah, so it's very nice. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Yeah, yeah.
In the meantime, I got married to my Brazilian wife, and we moved to Brazil. And first in big cities like Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo, but then we moved to the south of Brazil, where there was no Sahaja Yoga yet. I had learned the language by then, and so we did programs there. And then one day I got a call from Cabela, and somebody said, I forgot who it was, maybe it was Sanjay, who said, what you doing in Brazil? Shri Mataji wants you to go to China, to Hong Kong. I said, okay, what should I do now? Well, first you should go back to Sao Paulo. This is a big city, like Mumbai, right?
Yeah.
And there was no Sahaja Yoga there, and there were no programs, no yogis. First, I should go there, and she wants to come to Sao Paulo and do a program there. And so a few of us, we were just 4 or 5 people in this multi-million-dollar people city. And I told Vaibhav earlier in an earlier session how difficult it was to prepare for this program, because nothing worked out. Anything we tried, you go to television, go to radio, they all said, no, 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 no. We put posters up, they got ripped down, like in the same night, they were all gone. And then a miracle happened, and on the day when Shri Mataji arrived, I felt really very bad, because basically nobody knew that she's coming. All our efforts were destroyed or sort of prohibited, and so nothing worked. And on the long trip back from the airport to the city, Sri Mataji was very happy and talking about this and that in the car. And I just could not tell her what happened. My heart, I couldn't say anything. So she arrived at I'm making this short. She arrived at the hotel. Everything was ready, food was there, the hotel was prepared. Sri Mataji had still her coat on, and she looked at me and she said, "Let's go shopping." Okay, shopping. It's Sunday. It's a very Catholic country. That means the shops are closed. And Sri Mataji said she wanted to go to the center of the city. Well, I'm not questioning Sri Mataji. She says we're going, then we're going. So we went back down into the car, drove, and the streets were all empty on a Sunday early morning. And as we're driving closer to the center, more and more traffic happens. And then we got stuck. Traffic jam, everybody's standing. So I turned the window down and asked the car next door, "What's going on?" I said, "Well, you don't know. On this day is where all the artisans from all the country come together for a huge market where they bring all their handicrafts from around Brazil to sell." Of course, Sri Mataji knew. We did not know. I had no idea. So once we're there, Sri Mataji is buying many presents for many yogis, all very fast. And at the end of it, she looked at me and she said, "I know what you wanted to tell me. I also know why you couldn't tell me. But I'm telling you that I came here today, now, and I've invited all the people. All the people. I have invited them personally. Don't worry, the program will be full."
Oh,
I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say. It's like so overwhelming. And long story short, the evening comes and the program, I need to go a little bit earlier because I'm introducing and I'm also part of the musician. And I'm looking into the hall and it is absolutely packed full. People sitting on the stairs and standing on the side and in the back and everywhere. Television cameras, radio reporters, news reporters, they were all there. All those that said no to us, Sri Mataji just brought them all there. So that's how Sahaja Yoga started in Sao Paulo.
this is beyond the brain, I can tell you for sure. It's all there in the vibrations,
Yes, it is.
all around her. She works it out.
So to continue with the story, I'm keeping it short now.
Yeah,
So eventually I ended up in Hong Kong with my dear brother Alex. You know him well, I know that.
Oh, yeah.
And it was also the time when Sri Mataji was invited to speak at the International UN Women's Conference in Beijing, 1995. So we from Hong Kong went to China to help facilitate Sri Mataji's arrival there, because there was no Sahaja Yoga in China then. It started literally with this event. And she arrived one day late. That's another story that we can maybe save for another day. And she was scheduled to speak that very day. So she arrived on the airport, coming from an intercontinental flight from Europe, 18 hours, didn't even go to the bathroom, went to the UN, got on the stage and gave her speech. And was absolutely happy and cheerful and made jokes, and maybe you have heard the talk. She really spoke about the quality of the women, because it was a women's conference. So most of the women that were speaking were basically talking that we need to win that war against the men, in very short, in the many different languages and so. And Sri Mataji says, no, none of that. That's all wrong. You are all wrong. What women need to do is to need to learn their own powers. And then the men will fall at your feet. You don't need to win a war. You just need to be a woman. And it was amazing, television cameras, radio, everybody was there. They've never heard anything like that. And so she got interviewed after that. And so many things happened there. And eventually, Sahaja Yoga started from there in China. So yeah, and then from Hong Kong, my wife and children were still in Brazil. So at some point, she said at another visit, it's enough now. And I went back and we met in the United States. And so we're still here. So just to close that, Srimataji sent me, basically that's what she said, she sent me to Hong Kong to help the Chinese yogis with learning bhajans, because they have a very different sense of music. You probably know that, right? You had a tour there, and you know their traditional music, right? They don't have a sense of rhythm, and their melodies are very foreign to us. So we had a lot of fun, and also they have issues with pronunciation. They can't pronounce the R and many other letters that we use in Sanskrit and Marathi and Hindi and so in the songs. So we took a whole year to learn a few songs. And then at the program in Hong Kong, the yogis were called on stage by her and were singing the songs that we had practiced, and Srimataji was very pleased. So basically, in very short, that's what I was asked to do there. And then back to the United States, and there you've been here too, right? So it's a very different environment, and Sahaja Yoga is still not evolving as fast as it would maybe in India or in China or in Europe. It's very slow here.
Even now?
Oh yeah, it's still very slow. I tell you, I am in a smaller place in central Pennsylvania. So that's a state west of New York City. It's almost looking like in Europe. And I'm here since 14 years. And it's a very transitory place because I'm working at a large university as a creative director. And in those 14 years, we gave realization to a lot of people. There are like 100,000 students in this city here.
Wow.
But they come and they leave. And most of them don't come to get the self-realization. They come either to get a degree, but also to party and find their loved ones and so on and so forth. So we give a lot of people self-realization. And we have, through that, a lot of connections throughout the world because the students come from everywhere. But there's not one yogi here that we could call a collective, right? So it's just my wife and I and our children since 14 years, and that's sometimes a little bit hard to comprehend because I'm so used to be in the middle of a big collective and music and entertainment and activities and pujas in a big style and all of that, and now it's very different. But then I realize Srimataji puts me where she wants me to put me, right? Who am I to question that? So I'm here.
So join us. Join us. We are doing we've got an NGO now, Immaculate Ideal Human Foundation.
Yes, I've heard about it.
We are making films. We are doing a project called Jewels of Sahaja Yoga. And can you see?
Hold on.
That is you.
Oh, Jewel.
So you have been selected as one of our jewels.
Oh my goodness.
We are going to do stories where new people can be sort of engaged in how Sahaj Yoga has worked in people's lives who are with Sri Mataji, how they have battled certain issues of their life, how they have gotten out of them, how they have been transformed, how they are helping transform the world, what they have achieved, the miracles, etc. So that this could help in spreading Sahaj Yoga through an audio-visual format. This is what we are doing.
That's a
Apart
beautiful
from
project. Wow.
apart from making
Wow.
another film, we are already working on another film after Griha
Yeah.
Lakshmi. So first I'll show you Griha Lakshmi, then we'll go to the next film.
Yeah. Well, you shared the link, right? So I will definitely
Yeah,
take a look.
you know what happened? That was a festival that we were participating, and
Hmm.
we have been selected in the first out of 350 entries. We were the top, one of the top five.
Wow.
They declared it yesterday.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That is
Yeah.
mother. So she mother's realization was in the film,
Wow. Where
and the
was the
film.
festival? Where was the
Uh,
festival?
this is Pinewood Studios in the UK. They have this
Mm.
special festival for first-time filmmakers, those who have made the film
Uh-huh.
for the first time. They give them an
Right.
opportunity, a platform for the whole world to watch their films. So I
Wow.
had entered that.
350. Hmm.
Yeah, it was a video, Vimeo on demand video that they had shared with everybody. All you had to do is link into it by paying $10 and watching all the films in the festival for a whole entire week.
Wow.
So this is a beginning, and let's hope we can make it to the best film, which wasn't, of course, we weren't the best film. There was another film that was selected out of the five.
Yeah.
But it's a good beginning, you know.
Of
Uh,
course.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, among 350, you're already on the top, right?
So you're most welcome in these years of your life. Be part of what I am trying to do, and we can do a lot of things together. We are a combined force, actually,
Oh, yes.
with
Yes.
music, and maybe I'll involve you with some music, background music, or singing as part of the. You can even be
Yeah.
part of the shoot of the film, yeah, as we
Well,
go.
anything, Sanjay, anything where I can help, absolutely.
Thank you.
You
Thank you.
know about the UNESCO event that just happened
Yes.
now.
Yes. Yes.
So I was very involved there, and it's just amazing to see these young people from around the world. Uh, when I was talking, so I was asked to give a lecture, and then I had to do some other things also, and interviews there and other activities. But in my talk, there were about 450 people present. Uh, there's a pretty sizable audience for one Sahaja Yogi in general, right? Because our public programs usually don't have that many people. So that was nice. And then after this whole thing got recorded and put on a website, suddenly it got unbelievable amount of views. Like last time I looked, there were 18,000 people that have seen that.
Wow.
And it was sort of a masked self-realization program, not as open as would do it for Sahaja Yoga, but I could show the logo of Sahaja Yoga, I could show a photo of Sri Mataji, but not
Oh,
prominent and in the
openly.
center. But it was a meditation with the experience and then feeling the vibrations and so on and so forth. So these things do happen. I'm not
Was it
complaining.
was it something like what you had started in the 90s in the US called CEL? Is it something
Yeah,
on the same?
cell, that is different. Cell is born from a request from Sri Mataji to bring Sahaja Yoga, as she called it, the corporators, meaning large corporations. And there are severe restrictions what you're allowed to say and what you're allowed to do. And so we had to create a a new version of Sahaja Yoga, if you will, where where you could not put Sri Mataji's photo right in the center, like on an altar we do in a public program, but a little bit more on the side, and it's a little bit more secular, but it's still Sahaja Yoga and meditation is there, and working on chakras is there, just we use different names. I have to say, I'm in this since the beginning, as you said, so in the late 90s, maybe it started. And we have not been able to create a global appearance out of this. For whatever reason, maybe the time's not right, or we're doing something wrong, I don't know. There's a group of people international that's working on that. So currently, actually, right now, these days, we're trying to re-envision it again, because there's no point to keep on doing something that's not working. We had some programs in Microsoft and Shell and Intel and other big corporations. It comes and goes, but nothing stays. So we're trying to figure out what could we do to fulfill Sri Mataji's desire. But the United Nations is a different thing. The United Nations is a different thing, so it's not connected.
Yeah, I know. It's tough to bring Sri Mataji directly in front of people, but somehow this is the truth.
Yes, it is.
We need quality and not quantity. So basically, if people accept her as the goddess, things must become easier. You know, how it came to you, how it came to me, we can't explain how this works. Yes. And this is what I'm trying to also achieve at my end, that bring her to the forefront, say that there was somebody who came and showed you the path. Like all the big saints and deities and incarnations that came from time to time. So did Sri Mataji came. And so it is a fantastic, creative way of putting things in front of people. So you have to sugarcoat it and yet at the same time show her. So in my film, that's what I have tried to do, is to show Mother direct, speaking about it, but yet more appealing to their brains and then getting into their heart and then trying to make a combination of both. We are trying.
I like what you said. Not so much through the brain, but through the heart, isn't it? Because anyway, there's nothing to understand really what's happening. Absolutely. If you can't feel it, then if it's not an experience, then it's not happening, right?
So brother, let me give you a big hug for coming today.
Yeah, my goodness.
Here you go. Here is the hug.
Thank you.
God bless you. I think it's been a long time that we have been in conversation. And if you like, we could have another session. The next series of our talks, we go further beyond that. And I hope our listeners, our Sahaja Yogis or non-Sahaja Yogis who are trying to know about Sahaja Yoga, they will be able to take some meaning out of our lives that we have had with Sri Mataji, and now that she is in her Nirakar form, how we are coping with our lives and how beautiful our lives are. So if people can see how lovely people are coming out of Sahaja Yoga, then I'm sure they'll love to be part of this family.
Well, I salute you for these words. Yes,
so
it's very true.
God bless you.
Jai Shri Mataji.
Thank you. And Jai Shri Mataji.
Thank you for the invitation.
You're welcome. We'll come back again with some more interviews with you, hopefully. And I hope you will give us this opportunity again.
Of course, I'll be very happy.
God
and
bless
anything
you.
Else I can help. Jai Shri
Mataji. We stay in touch.
Yes, please.
Wherever we will be closing this program today, I would like to thank you very much for being there for us. And God bless everybody. Thank you and Jai Shri Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Herbert, for joining. Thank you, Uncle Sanjay.
Thank you, Vaibhav. Greetings to your family. Goodbye.
Thank you, Uncle.
Also
Lots of love to you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Jai Shri Mataji.